Today we're going to jump into the wonderful world of selling fees, which is one of the most discussed topics in the entire hobby. A lot of people hold it very near and dear to their hearts. They will literally fight you to the death in groups of Discord and Reddits because they feel so strongly about fees. And what they don't understand, come here, this is funny. Everyone pays to sell their items. Everyone. Yes, Timmy, even you who meet somebody in the back alley behind the Kmart, Radio Shack, and broken down Blockbuster, and you do some weird transaction through the window, you get back to your car like you just made a drug deal, and you really think you dodged fees. And so we're going to talk about that today. This whole conversation came about because a subscriber sent me an email they got from eBay. They live in the UK, and showing how eBay is giving up to 300 transactions a month with zero selling fees. And he even showed me one of his sales where he, in fact, got charged zero fees. And then it started to get shared around in the last few days on the Discords, on the Instagram. So I wanted to make a video about this and kind of tie it in to selling fees in general, because I don't think a lot of people quite understand that they're all paying to sell their items. They just don't realize it. And so it's unclear if this is kind of like a test in the UK to see if they're going to roll it out to the rest of their markets like the US. I didn't get into details if they are charging a buyer's premium, which is they're charging the buyer to actually pay the fees, or if they're doing this just kind of as like a marketing campaign to drum up business in the UK market. As you guys know, TikTok has done similar things where they'll give massive coupons to drum up business on their platform, where the seller's still getting full price for their item, the buyer's paying way less for the item, and TikTok's footing the bill. TCG Player will do this where they give like 10% back on any order purchased on specific days, to where the buyer gets full price, the seller gets a discount because they get that 10% back, and then TCG Player foots that bill. eBay used to give eBay bucks, and now they're trying this out. And so it could be something like a marketing campaign to keep the market churning and burning, because if you guys don't know, platforms have a big control over the market. They can literally keep things moving even in a down market just by footing the bill on some of these sales. Or if eBay is truly looking to change directions and go more of the route of PWCC, which is now Fanatics, and some of these other auction houses, whereas if you guys don't know, they have buyer's premiums, where the seller literally does not pay fees. No fees. The buyer foots the bill for the fees, okay? Now, a lot of people, stupidly, think they dodged fees on these platforms. What they don't realize is most every item, again, don't leave some one-off item in the comments like you guys always do. I'm sure there's one-offs. Most every item on these other platforms, they sell for less. Why could this be? Is it because the buyers know they have to pay a buyer's premium, so they bid less on the items because it's all worked into the price? So the seller feels like, hey, I didn't pay any fees, I'm rich. Where it's like, well, dude, you sold your item for $100. You could have got $120 on eBay. Yeah, but there I had to pay fees. It's the same thing. You're paying it one way or another, either by discounted sale or by paying the freaking fee and getting full price. All right? Now, there's the people who get on Facebook buy-sell trades. Or I post to my Instagram story, Alex, I legitimately don't pay fees. Guess what? I even make them pay me in friends and family. I'm not even paying a payment processing fee. All right. How many of you guys get full price for your items? How many of you guys get full eBay TCG Player prices for your items? Almost none of you. And the ones that say they do, most of them are lying. Some people out there probably do here and there. You don't. You don't get full price. You're taking discounts because the buyer knows you're not paying the fees too. And so what happens is you'll convince yourself you're not paying fees on these platforms. And what happens is you're selling the item for 10, 15% under full market value, and you think you won. In reality, you lost. And I'll tell you why you lost. You are taking more time out of your day to post to these other platforms, to go back and forth with all these tire kickers on these other platforms, right? You're having to, negotiate all these different payment terms, like what payment processor you're going to use, and if it's goods and services, if it's friends and family. You're taking on more risk because you're not on a vetted platform with vetted sellers who you can see their rating and all those things. I know there's some of these groups that have ratings for people now, but you're taking all this unnecessary risk and you're getting the same amount of money than just putting on a platform that has way more buyers. It's going to be way more liquid on these large platforms. It's going to move faster. You're going to get the same amount of money after fees anyway, but you want to take on more risk to convince yourself you didn't pay fees. It's ridiculous. All right, now there's the card shop owners. Alex, I hear what you're saying, but I own a card shop, a local LGS, all right? And I don't pay fees. Okay, well, what do you call your rent? What do you call your utilities? What do you call the trash company that has to come pick up your trash and charge you? What do you call any kind of maintenance or upkeep on the property or the strip mall or anything that you pay there? Is that included in the rent? Is it not? I don't know. What do you call all that good stuff? What do you call, like, maybe if you have to market to get people to even realize that you have a shop there? What do you call all those expenses? They're fees. They may not be in the form of selling platform fees. You're paying something to have the ability to sell your items or to find your customers. You're paying for it. Alex, I have my own website. I own my customers. I own them. eBay doesn't own them. TCG Player doesn't own them. I don't have to worry about getting kicked out for these Facebook groups and Instagram stores. No. I have my own website. All right. So you started your own website, did you? Yeah, I did. Good job, Timmy. I have to hide for you. Has anyone visited? I've had a few people. Why do you think no one's visiting? One, they don't know about you, right? So instead of eBay, who has, millions and millions of customers on there every day, because guess what? They did the work to grow a company and grow a customer base. Instead of that, you got to go find your own customer base. How are you going to do that? Well, you're either going to invest your time into tons of social media content, or you're going to invest money into paid ads on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Google, which costs a lot of money. Not only that, guess what? No one knows who you are. If you don't have a social media following, you just started a new store, no one's going to buy from you. People are sketchy in this hobby. They don't want to go buy from some random store. They think they're going to get scammed. And so you have to build brand recognition for your name to get people to even feel comfortable enough to buy from your site. So now you're investing all this time to create brand recognition, create content, pay for all these ads. You're still paying payment processing fees on your own site, and you convince yourself somehow you're winning. Somehow you're winning having your own site where you have this size customer base compared to this size on eBay, and you're still having to do all this legwork and put forth all this money just to get customers to the site they may not even buy once they click there. Oh, and by the way, if you're selling for the same price as other people are on eBay or TCG Player, 99% of the time, unless you're some of the top 1% of business that people really want to buy from, they're not going to buy from you. Meaning, you also have to list your products lower than those other sites so people feel like they're getting a deal and they'll still buy from you. So don't tell me how you're not paying to sell on your own website. Oh, by the way, it costs money for that website domain too, to have everything, working and keep every single year, right? You're paying for it. You're paying for it whether you like it or not. Alex, I sell at conventions. Right, yeah, at conventions you don't go through all kind of stuff. First of all, if it's not local, you have to drive or fly there. You got to pay for a hotel or a, Airbnb, something like that. You got to pay for your tables. You got to pay for your cases if you don't own them. You got to pay for all your any type of retail marketing material, anything you're doing there, your signage, your price stickers, all that good stuff. And then people, yes, they are going to try to haggle you down on your prices. Some convention sellers do very well, and they do hold firm to their prices, and they do get full market value. Most people do not. They do negotiate off the full sale prices on eBay or TCG Player. They do come below that, and they take discounts, which is another form of fee. When you think discount, think fee. That's a seller fee, right? It's a discount for the buyer. It's a fee on the seller because they're getting less than full market price. So you're paying to sell at conventions. Now, it can be more worth it or less worth it depending on how well you do, but there are still costs involved. Last but not least, we got the guy meeting behind the Kmart and the Blockbuster and the Radio Shack and doing drug deals, right? And yes, this is probably the least form you'll ever pay in fees. All you gotta do is, get out and drive, cost you some gas, I don't know. But yes, you're not going to get full price. People are not going to get up and go drive and meet you behind some broken down, abandoned building and pay you full price on an item because they would just sit in the comfort of their own home and buy it on eBay or TCG Player or Amazon or anywhere else. Why would they go do this effort, put forth this effort to pay you full price? Now, if you somehow are getting full price, hey, hats off to you. Again, 99.9% of people aren't. Meaning, you're going through the work of leaving your house, going and meeting this person, waiting for them. Usually takes you, they're usually late, you're usually late, whatever. And it takes you all this time out of your day to go make this transaction where you're going to get less than full market value again. And even after shipping and fees, it's probably about the same, especially because it takes way less of your time. And so when you really think things through, it doesn't matter how you are selling in this industry, you're paying for it. You're paying for it with your time. You're paying for it with discounts. The buyer's paying for it, so the price is actually lower, right? You're paying for it one way or another. And the more you want to try and convince yourself you're somehow beating the game, the more ridiculous it's going to sound as time goes on. Guys, the reason big platforms charge you a 10% fee, yes, it is 10%. The reason you pay 13% is because you're also paying the payment processing fee, which you're going to pay if you sell on goods and services anywhere else anyway. So the reason you pay 10% to these platforms, okay, is because they've done all the work by going out and finding you the largest customer bases in the entire world. It is where the most transactions in the entire Pokemon hobby, in all these hobbies, are done. eBay and TCG Player. Maybe other sites in different countries, but those are the two main in the US. And because of that, because it's the most liquid marketplace, that they vet the customers, if they have issues with them over time, they're gonna delete their accounts. You can see their feedback. They even have the authenticity guaranteed now, which is free for any card over $250. So you're taken care of there. They have a global shipping program on eBay where they're going to ship the product overseas for you, so you're taken care of there. They cover everything, and there's all these benefits that you get for that 10%. TCG Player, same way. You can move a gross amount of cards in the time it would take you to move it on other platforms, and for that, you're paying 10% fee. And people who overlook this and think like fees are a bad thing, you should never pay fees, I have this whole system beat, unless you are literally finding somewhere to sell where you're having everyone pay you, friends and family, right? All you're paying is shipping, and you are getting absolute full market price on every single item you sell, then you guys truly beat the system. Congratulations. Most everyone is not, right? They are taking some form of discount to sell their items somewhere else instead of selling on a major platform. Or they are taking extensive time out of their days to go meet people, or to try and build their own website and build their brand, and they're running paid ads to push their people to their website, to their brand. And it's taking a lot of effort, a lot of money to build that up, to eventually maybe not have to spend as much and not have fees, but to get there, it's not easy. And most people never get there. Whereas it's very easy to go on these platforms for new people and list an item and sell it. And here's the last thing I'm going to say. To anyone who always complains about all these stupid things, like Alex, there's selling fees, there's shipping, there's taxes, I can't make a profit. What do you think all of these businesses that have operated on eBay for years and years and years in the Pokemon hobby, in these other collectible hobbies, are doing there? Do you think they are all just doing it out of the goodness of their hearts, and they're all independently wealthy and no one actually has to make money? They just love moving trading cards around. No! Everyone out there is making freaking money. I'm making freaking money selling on eBay, selling on TCG Player, and everyone else who is as well. And so this notion that you can make money in this hobby because of fees and shipping tells me you just don't have the hobby optimized the right way. You just haven't learned what you're doing. And so don't buy into that rhetoric. Don't buy into that BS that you can't make money because of fees and shipping or taxes and all that BS. Because I'll tell you one thing. If no one was making money, you'd see basically no businesses in this hobby, right? Maybe you see a few crazies out there that just love the hobby so much they want to take time listing and shipping cards everywhere for free. But no one would have a business if they weren't making freaking money. So just let that sink in and say, well, if everyone else is doing it, obviously there's a way. Maybe I'm doing something wrong and I shouldn't spend my time on the Discords and Reddits complaining about these things, and I should actually find out what everyone else is doing to be able to be profitable as well. Hope this video helped everybody. Again, I don't know the extent of what's happening in the UK with this zero selling fee for up to 300 listings. I don't know if it's a marketing campaign to drum up business in the UK market. I don't know if it's something that's going to, eventually spread to every market and they're going to push it onto the buyers as buyer premiums. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what eBay does. I'm sure eBay is very calculated in their decisions and they got something good coming with it. And so it'll be a surprise to all of us when it comes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not yet. I'll be back here in a new one soon. I'm out.